Welcome back to Dave Knows, the channel where I like to talk about all of the things that I know. And today, Dave Knows Wrestling. With me being here on YouTube for going on 3 years now, I thought a proper celebration would be to go back to where it all started and see how things might stack up differently today. So, leading up to the big 3-year anniversary, we'll be revisiting, re-examining, and redoing some classic Dave Knows Wrestling videos. I'll be doing completely fresh takes and presenting brand new ideas on some old favorites, and it all starts right now. So enjoy this reloaded and remade version of one of the original launch videos of this channel, because today, Dave knows the 7 most successful outside talents in WWE. While it has only been 3 years, a lot has changed over that time for WWE and how they deal with previously established talent. Now, unfortunately, some wrestlers do help to continue WWE's reputation of not being the best when it comes to celebrating outside stars, like with Ethan Carter, Bobby Roode, or Eric Young. But with that being said, there are wrestlers who have broken that mold, having done well for themselves elsewhere and also succeeding in the House of McMahon. So why don't we just take a look at some of these wrestlers? 7 of them to be exact. But before we get into that, let's go over the rules. Now, last time I was looking for anyone who won any singles title in a major promotion outside of WWE and then won the WWE Championship specifically. But I didn't include the WWE's World title, and I also wasn't including companies like Ring of Honor or New Japan. I was only counting championships won in WCW, TNA, and ECW. Oh, and I didn't count NXT last time either, and I still won't be. It does not count as an outside championship, nor does it count as a high-ranking WWE championship either. Although this time we will be including both Ring of Honor and New Japan. Furthermore, while previously I accepted any singles title, for this go around it's world titles only. From there, I'll be examining their overall careers and deciding who I rank as doing the best in WWE after first winning a top tier title outside of the company. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's get into the new list. Booker T. Despite being on the thumbnail last time and being one of my favorite wrestlers, Booker T didn't quite make the last list, as I wasn't counting WWE's world title into the equation. Plus, after looking at incidences like how The Rock dismissed him, his loss to Triple H at WrestleMania 19, him and Austin fighting in a supermarket, and the whole King Booker gimmick, I never really looked at Booker T as being treated all that well in WWE. But alas, after listening to many members of the Know It All Nation, he does make the list today, albeit just barely. And you know what? He does deserve to be here, as he did hold the WWE World title for 126 days. And while that may not seem like a whole lot, it is longer than he ever held the WCW title for, with his longest reign with that belt clocking in at only 120 days, with most of that time occurring while the company was deactivated after WCW was sold to WWE. But at any rate, Booker T starts us off this time at number 7. Next up at number 6 is Chris Benoit. Now, this was a hard decision to make, not because of the controversy surrounding the wrestler, but because of how this list gets broken down. Because in order to make this list, you need to be successful in both WWE and another major promotion. So while I will say that Chris Benoit was more successful in WWE than Booker, having won a main event at WrestleMania and holding onto the world title about a month longer than Booker did, the Crippler didn't do nearly as well in WCW. Chris Benoit's only WCW World title win only lasted a day and was retconned by the promotion itself. However, after the sale, WWE, WCW's current owners, began counting the win again, so technically he does qualify for this list. Now, there are a few reasons why I decided to rank Chris Benoit in slightly higher than Booker T. Putting aside their top titles for a moment, both men have won both the Intercontinental and the United States Championships. But Benoit won each of these titles more, and he also won the WCW US title more times than Booker T. And while Booker T can claim winning more television and a lot more tag team titles in WCW, as well as winning the King of the Ring in WWE over Benoit, the Rabid Wolverine has won the Royal Rumble, was one half of the first ever WWE Tag Team Champions on SmackDown, and of course he has also won a main event at WrestleMania 20. So overall, even though his legacy may be tarnished, I do have to say that I think his in-ring career is just a little more prestigious, even if you compare it to a king. Tyler Black. Seth Rollins is already a highly decorated WWE superstar, and his career is just hitting its peak. After winning both the Ring of Honor World and Tag Team titles as Tyler Black, Seth Rollins became a member of one of WWE's biggest factions of all time, as well as winning both the Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble. In addition, he is a member of both WWE's Triple Crown Club as well as winning the new Grand Slam. And he is also one of the very select few to win both the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship, the latter of which he won twice, with one of those reigns lasting an impressive 221 days. Oh, and he also pulled off winning both the Universal and the WWE title at 2 separate WrestleManias. Bryan Danielson. Speaking of holding both major titles, Daniel Bryan has won not only the WWE title, but also the World title. Not only has Daniel Bryan won 2 belts as well, but he has also won the WWE Championship twice as many times as Seth. But the other reason why he gets the nod above the Kingslayer is that while Tyler Black was Ring of Honor champion for 210 days, Bryan Danielson held onto the Ring of Honor World title for over twice as long. Perhaps Seth will catch up in time, but as of right now, the Planet's champion is ahead on this one. The Giant. Now here's a wrestler that I definitely should have put on the list last time around. Paul White, the Giant, the Big Show, comes in at our number 3 spot, having won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship 2 times, as well as winning World War III. As the Big Show, he would win the WWE Championship twice, as well as winning the World title 2 times too. Not to mention that he's also in the Triple Crown Club and has won the Grand Slam as well. Ric Flair. Next up, still number 2 on this new list, is the Nature Boy Ric Flair. An absolute legend in the business, Ric Flair has won 16 world titles to his name, although it's actually more than that, but that's another video. One which I already made. But for this list, it doesn't matter if you count 16 world titles or more, because only 2 of those world titles were WWF World Heavyweight Championships, and even those weren't very long title reigns either. But with all that being said, why does he rank so high at number 2? Well, let's just remember that he really was the first to accomplish quite a lot in terms of outside talent. Aside from Buddy Rogers, who only held on to the original WWF World Heavyweight Championship for about a month, Flair was the first ever to hold both the NWA and the WWF World Heavyweight titles. And he would also be the first to ever win both the WWF and WCW World Heavyweight Championships too. And despite his legendary status that he already had outside of WWF, he still managed to win the Royal Rumble and bring the title into WrestleMania. But while Ric Flair's career by far speaks for itself, and he is the only person to appear on this list as well as the previous one, there is still one person who I think outranks him. And that person is AJ Styles. While AJ has yet to win the Royal Rumble like Flair, and both are in the Triple Crown as well as 2-time WWE champions, AJ does have 2 brief WWE US title wins in comparison to Flair's 1 Intercontinental title run. And also, while both men have a plethora of accolades outside of WWE, with Flair being, well, you know, Ric Flair, and AJ Styles winning titles in companies ranging from TNA to New Japan, the reason why I ultimately gave AJ Styles number 1 spot has to do with his most recent WWE title run. Like Sting, AJ Styles is a wrestler who almost made a career out of not going to WWE. And when he finally showed up, like Sting, no one was expecting him to get a push, especially when we look at his fellow TNA alum who had to make stops in developmental before getting called up to the main roster, only to not get a push. However, despite all that, AJ Styles defied all the odds, retaining the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, being the first person to ever win the title outside of North America, and also having that second title reign lasting over a year at 371 days. So not only is AJ Styles the phenomenal one, but he also ranks in on this list as the number 1 most successful established outside talent in WWE. But what do you think? Who else is a successful outside talent in WWE? Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to help this channel out by giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing right here to Dave Knows Wrestling. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, Dave knows.